All right, now I'm gonna do the instincts questionnaire. What do you need most to be happy? Why? I don't want to like meta this too much, but like, I mean, I genuinely do feel like I need to be like hitting some sort of goal or like have this sort of like vision that I'm like in alignment with. Um, like something that's gonna be really like sort of long term fulfilling. Um, I think like I need to feel like understood by like on a just like a very like deep level by like a girlfriend or even friends, but I think yeah, like understood by a girlfriend, like romantic lover is like huge for me. Like a sense of feeling like seen. um uh yeah, just like I don't know, a sense of like self-actualization, I guess. What would you die without? Why? um I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like this is like I could interpret this in a like a more like abstract way, but I'm just gonna interpret it more straightforwardly, like, like food and water and shelter and stuff. Like, I don't know. Um, what makes you feel like you're losing touch with reality? Um, I guess when like my like sort of gut or like my body reactions and my emotional reactions are just like wildly out of touch with like a situation that I'm supposed to accept, or like the way that somebody's treating me. If I feel like I'm being manipulated or something, um, that can just make me feel like out of touch with reality. I don't know. Uh, what makes you feel fully alive? Why? Um, I would say like I feel like really alive. Like having any sort of like personal transformation, I guess. Um, like some sort of change. Like I am changing. Um, um, like kind of just like watching that happen and getting like I don't know, like fascinated with yourself or something. Um I think yeah, I think there's something sort of like there's a sense of like everything coming together for me that's like gives me like a sense of like aliveness. um like um what makes me not feel alive is feeling like, numb or aimless, or like repressed, or just yeah, like checked out. I like I'd say like I've actually felt pretty alive for the last like 2 years or so, because like after I went through a breakup, and I had sort of like a weird cursed but like transformative last year of college, where I was like, I don't know, I had some like interesting like relationships with people. I was like um friends with this like crazy like Russian girl. Um, and she was like I think she was like actually like sexual self-pres, like definitely like social blind, like 478 try or something, probably seven core, but it was like our relationship was just like it was like going down into the depths. Like we kind of went on like a warpath together. Like we were breaking into spots on campus and like getting like blackout drunk and like exploring all these like abandoned, creepy, like mysterious places. Like it was just very like um I don't think I'm like a known instinct in this system. To try to get too meta, but I think she was like unknown first, and it was like kind of like our like sort of like friendship or relationship or like whatever you want to call it was like really just sort of dominated by that, and it was like, but like a lot of those experiences and a lot of my other experiences, like I was in a spot where I was like figuring myself out and sort of picking up the pieces, but then when I started writing my book, I had like it was like I was just weaving everything together into like somehow this like it just feels like super coherent to me. But it's just coming from all these sort of like weird cursed fragmented things um like our dynamic, like we were trying to form like an academia secret society because I was super obsessed with academia secret societies at the time. So like my book had like themes around like academia secret societies, and it was like but it was also sort of taking the piss out of like academia and like the like punk subculture, and like the kind of like in a way that's like not like I didn't mean it as like something like totally like cynical about like the people who like have ideals and like care about them in those areas, but it's also like it's just acknowledging that it's just this like mess of like contradictions because it's like it's just like so wrapped up in like elitism and like conformity, but it's also very like anti-elitist and like non-conformist. So just like the ways it just gets like tangled into like and like twisted into knots. It was like that was like something I wanted to like explore, but it's like also like the backdrop of this just like kind of yeah like this war path that we were going on at the time. It was just like this like super just inspiring, honestly. Um, and I would say like yeah, kind of like taking that and just putting it all into a blender, and then like the book that I was writing, it was like the main characters from like the Brazilian Amazon, and it was super critical of international development organizations, and it had a lot of themes about like like I don't know, how these like weird like geopolitical themes, but basically like the job that I found ended up really aligning with that in a lot of like really like genuinely like weird and like kind of manifesty ways. So it was like the like all the creative inspo that was like going into this creative project was both um like affecting how things were going to develop, but also like taking stuff from like the past that I hadn't like that I was like that was like transforming me, but I wasn't like necessarily like aware of like where that was going at the time. And it's like I can just I was sort of like weaving it all together, and like yeah, it's just like everything like feels like an alignment. Sorry, it's late. I have no idea if this is coherent at all. Um, who are you when no one else is watching? I think like I feel like I'm a lot more like serious internally and like very like I mean I feel like I can be like harsh on myself in like a lot of like my like interactions with like typology communities and stuff, but I don't know, it just feels like six wing five ish almost more than like six wing seven like quirky. Yeah, I don't know, I mean like it just it's like it's more just like harsh and like austere and like kind of like intense. I think like I can really not be intense at all when I interact with people because I just start like Bermudaing out, and like that can be good in a lot of ways or like whatever, but I don't know, I just yeah again I do feel like I'm like there's like a level of like just like psychological like heaviness or like a feeling of like a weight crushing me or something. What's your biggest fear? How do you deal with this fear? I mean I like answered it in the last video, but yeah, like existentially it's like wasting my life. I deal with it by doing things that make me feel like I'm not wasting my life. Like I don't know, like having some sort of like yeah, like trying to have like a vision or like a goal. Um, but like yeah, I mean like yeah, again, physical fears. It was like yeah, I had this like I have like a fear of heights that I generally just try not to engage with. A lot of stuff like driving like freaked me out, so I just like didn't engage with it for a while. Now I kind of have to, and I also felt like I like wasn't like stepping up to the plate enough. So it's like that's something I was doing. But then yeah, I was like really afraid of like surgery and like body gore type stuff. So I was like binge watching all the Saw movies, just trying to like exposure therapy myself with that. Um, what rewards does life give, and how do you get them? I feel like a lot of the time it's like I have to like really have my energy focused towards something, and then the universe will reward me. But it's like if I like sometimes it's like it feels like if I take my eye off the ball for a minute, like I could just like lose everything. Um, so I feel like I just have to like um yeah be kind of like locked in or whatever. Um, rewards. I mean like yeah I feel like a lot of my like a lot of the people that I'm friends with and really close with feel um like even if I have to do favors for them or like make sacrifices for those relationships, it feels like a privilege to even like have that kind of responsibility, you know? I have to charge my computer, so that's like there's almost like something rewarding about that for me um intrinsically. Um I think yeah, like I don't know, feeling fulfilled and feeling like um fulfilled by my close relationships with people in my life. Um, and like that's something that can like deepen and grow and be like long term. Um, what does being trapped in your own personal hell look and feel like for you? What takes you out of it? When I get stressed, I can get really in just like very like numb, repetitive states. Um, my personal hell for me is like it's that just like groggy ADHD, like inattentive ADHD depression. It just feels like for me it feels like a permanent little cluster migraine or something. It feels like physically like I have like Vaseline between my like forehead, skin, and the skull, or maybe between like the skull and the brain. But it feels very concentrated in the forehead, just like a deep like heaviness and just tired exhaustion, just like it's just this like very just like sort of numb gray like haze. um and it's like I feel like ugly or like weak somehow by like being in this mode. It's like I have I'm not like taking care of my hygiene. I'm growing out my facial hair. I have like gray sweatpants on. It's just like it's like a version of myself that like I don't want to go back to, and it's like something that I feel like I could be like dragged into at any time, or like that I could regress back into being. Um, yeah, so that's like what my personal health feel like. What takes you out of it? I feel like sometimes there needs to be like some sort of like shock to the system or something. Like as like fucked up as it is, like kind of like when I was going through that breakup, like that did sort of like snap me out of it somehow, even though it was like more miserable. It was like this sort of like raw, actively bleeding wound type of misery instead of sort of like a numb gray haze. And that kind of just caused me to like lock it in and like have this sort of like period of my life where I was feeling really alive. Um, I also think like honestly, like on a less dramatic note, like what can take me out of it is um just being around people and like or exposing myself to something new. Like it's kind of like yeah, like kind of coming up for air, I guess, like in any way. Um, what are you trying to get out of the typing process? Do you have ideas for your types? Um, I'm just really curious. I want to learn more about AP, but like, yeah, I mean, like, um, aside from like learning it as a system, I think I mostly just want to know what my type is and like kind of like have people like analyze my type and give me attention and like uh, that feels good. Um, and have like yeah some sort of like analysis like being analyzed by people. Um, ideas for my types, yeah. So I do, and I feel like I understand the expanded instincts a little bit more than the like AP itself, but like I feel like I decently understand both of them, but I also have like so many massive blind spots, and I'm like a lot of like my understanding, especially for AP, is like the types that I think I am, and then it's like I don't understand like the rest of the system at all, so I could just again be totally off because I haven't looked into it that deeply. But for AP, I like sort of lean like VLEF. Um, I think I'm probably V first, like which like especially for like a six, it feels like I'm very like V confident, I guess. Um, uh, and yeah, like being six, like I probably wouldn't, unless I was V first, I probably like wouldn't be the way I am with the rest of my type structure, certainly. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I could be F third because I feel like I can be sort of like, I can like turn to a reactive little bitch around a lot of like sort of physical like body stuff. Um, because it's like very like inferior SI. That's just like sort of like the way that like I can get sort of trapped or whatever, like with like ADHD and stuff. Um, but like yeah, so I don't know, but like I don't know. I think VLEF makes the most sense, but like whatever, I could be like VELF or VLFE or V EFL, I guess. But none of those. I looked into those a bit, and they all seemed like archetypally like off from like how I see myself. Um, and then for the expanded instincts, I think I'm SS, SY, CY. Um, yeah, I mean like I guess like it's possible I could be BG. Some people have said maybe SM, but like I think both those are pretty unlikely to be honest. Like I think yeah, I think SS, SY, CY is like pretty unlikely. So anyways, yeah, that's the questionnaire. Thanks for watching this. Appreciate it.